Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. I am again with you people, and as you know, we are discussing magnetic effects of current. And our today's topic is the force experienced by a charge when it is placed in a magnetic uniform magnetic field. Let's consider a positive charge Q moving in a uniform magnetic field B with a velocity v. Let the angle between B and V is theta as shown in figure. You can see the direction of magnetic field is from left to right, that is along y-axis, along x-axis, and the charge is moving at an angle of theta with the direction of B. Now there are two fields. One field is the applied magnetic field B, and the other field is the magnetic field produced by a moving charge. We know that when a charge moves, a moving charge constitutes an electric current. When a current flows somewhere, a magnetic field is produced around the current. If it is flowing through a conductor, the magnetic field is produced around a conductor. We know that. So there are two fields. One is the applied field, magnetic field B, and the other field is produced by the moving charge because the moving charge constitutes a current. Now there is an interaction between the two fields. For example, if you bring the north pole of one magnet close to the north pole of the other, they will repel each other. Or if you bring north pole of one magnet close to the south pole of the other magnet, they will attract each other because when they are in each other's fields. This attraction or this repulsion is called interaction. So we have two fields. There will be an interaction between the two fields. They will attract each other or they will repel each other. Due to this interaction between the two fields, the charge Q experiences a force. The charge Q will experience a force, and that force will be attractive. It will be attractive or repulsive. And it has been experimentally proved that the magnitude of this magnetic force, the force experienced by a moving charge, it has been experimentally found that it is directly proportional to the magnitude of the charge. That is, F is directly proportional to Q. What does it mean? Greater the magnitude of the charge, greater will be the force experienced by this charge. For example, a charge of 10 coulomb will experience a greater force than a charge of 5 coulomb. Number 2, the magnetic force experienced by this charge, it is directly proportional to the magnitude of the velocity of the charge. That is, F is directly proportional to V. What does it mean? Greater the velocity of a charge, greater the velocity with which the charge is moving, greater will be the force experienced by it. If it is moving faster, it will experience greater force. If it is moving slowly, it will experience lesser force. For example, a charge moving with a velocity of 10 meters per second will experience a greater force than a charge moving with 5 meters per second. Now, number 3, it has been experimentally found that the magnetic force experienced by this charge also depends upon one more thing, that is, it is directly proportional to the magnitude of the magnetic field. It is a correction here. It is directly proportional to the magnitude of the magnetic field. It is not force, it is field. That is, F is directly proportional to B. It is field here, it is not force. Remember this thing. What does it mean? Greater the magnitude of the magnetic field, greater the magnitude of the magnetic field, greater will be the force experienced by the charge. Suppose if we put a charge Q moving with velocity V, say for example, if the magnitude of the charge is 10 coulomb and it is moving with 10 meters per second, if we put it in two regions, first in a region where the magnetic field is suppose 10 Tesla, and then in a region where the magnetic field is 5 Tesla. In a region where the magnetic field is 10 Tesla, the charge will experience a greater force than in the region where the magnetic field is 5 Tesla. Number 4, it has also been found experimentally that the magnetic force experienced by this charge is directly proportional to the sine of angle theta between B and V. Greater the angle theta, greater will be the force, magnetic force experienced by the charge. For example, if the charge is moving at an angle 30 degree with the direction of B, then at an angle 60 degree with the direction of B. In the second case where the angle is 60 degree, the charge will experience a greater force. When we combine these three equations, we get, when we combine equation 1, 2, 3 and 4, as you can see, we get F is directly proportional to QVB sine theta. From equation 1st, 2nd, 3rd and 4th, we found that F is directly proportional to QVB sine theta, which implies F is equal to K QVB sine theta. F is equal to K QVB sine theta, where K is constant of proportionality, and it has been found, its value has been found experimentally, its value is 1, that is K is equal to 1. K is the constant of proportionality and its value is 1. So that equation 4 becomes F is equal to QVB sine theta because value of K is 1. And if you write this equation in vector form, we have only two vectors here, that is V and B. Q is a scalar. So I have again used bold letters. Bold letters will represent, in this chapter you will see bold letters will represent vectors and small letters will represent scalars. So F I have written in a bold letter means it is a vector, V is a vector and B is a vector. So in vector form we can write equation 5 as F is equal to Q V cross B, because if we write in the form of magnitude of V and B, then it will be VB sine theta. V cross B, A cross B is AB sine theta. Similarly, V cross B will be VB sine theta. So let us represent this equation by 6. Now we have special cases. We will discuss special cases. Case first. If theta is equal to 0 or pi, what does it mean? If the charge is moving parallel to the direction of the magnetic field B or anti-parallel to the direction of the magnetic field B, they are moving along the same line. It is moving along the same line parallel to the direction of the magnetic field B. That is from, as you can see from the field, from left to right or from right to left. Then if it is moving from left to right means along the direction of B, the theta will be 0, and if it is moving from right to left, then it will be, the theta will be pi. Then F is equal to QVB sine theta means F is equal to QVB sine 0. Since sine 0 is equal to 0, this implies F is equal to 0. It means that a charged particle moving parallel to the direction of the magnetic field or anti-parallel to the direction of the magnetic field does not experience any magnetic force. It will not experience any magnetic force. If the charge is moving parallel to the direction of the magnetic field B or anti-parallel to the direction of the magnetic field B, then the moving charge will not experience any force. Number 2, if theta is equal to 90 degree, then F is equal to QVB sine 90, and as you know, sine 90 is equal to 1. So this implies F will be equal to QVB. What does it mean? It means that a charged particle moving along a line perpendicular to the direction of the magnetic field B experiences a maximum force. So when the charge is moving at right angles to the direction of the magnetic field B, it will experience a maximum force, and that maximum force is equal to QVB. You have simply, suppose if Q is 10 coulomb, V is 10 meter per second, and B is 10 Tesla, then you have simply multiplied 10 into 10 into 10, it will be 1000 Newton. It will be 1000 Newton. That will be the maximum force a charge of 10 coulomb moving with 10 meter per second in a magnetic field of 10 Tesla will experience. Now case 3, if V is equal to 0, what does it mean? That is, if the charge is at rest, its velocity will be 0. So when the charge is at rest, its velocity will be 0, then F will be equal to QVB sine theta. Q into instead of V, we substitute 0. So this implies F will be equal to 0. It means that a charged particle at rest in a magnetic field experiences no force. Experiences no force. These were the three special cases. So we find that if a charge is moving in a magnetic field, it must be moving at right angles to the direction of the magnetic field. Then it will experience a force. So the force, if it is moving parallel, that is if theta is equal to 0, then if theta increases from 0 to 90, the force will also increase and will become maximum when theta becomes 90. And if angle is again increased from 90 to 180, the force will go on decreasing, and when the angle becomes 180, the force will again become 0. So in this way the force will go on increasing and decreasing. Now this was the magnitude. So we saw that the maximum magnitude of the force experienced by a charge moving in a magnetic field is QVB. Now we have to find what is the direction of that force. How we will get the direction, which way the charge will be deflected. We have to find the deflection of the force. The direction of the force experienced by a moving charge in a uniform magnetic field is given by Fleming's left hand rule, as you can see from the figure. What we do, we stretch the first finger, the central finger of our hand. You can see the longest finger. The longest finger is the central finger of our hand. Remember that. The longest finger of our hand is the central finger. The finger close to the thumb is the first finger. Finger close to the thumb is the first finger. So we have to take the thumb, the first finger, and the central finger, and then we have to stretch them. The first finger, the central finger, and the thumb of our left hand, and in such a way that they are mutually perpendicular to each other. We have to stretch them in such a way that the first finger, the center finger, and the thumb are mutually perpendicular to each other. That is, they make an angle of 90 degrees with each other, as you can see. You can you can practice it at your home also. You stretch the left, right thumb, the left first finger, and the center finger of your left hand mutually perpendicular to each other. Then if the first finger points in the direction of the magnetic field B, remember this thing. The first finger points, we have to put it in the direction of, as in the figure, it was from left to right. If the first finger is in the direction of magnetic field B, the center finger points in the direction of the velocity V. In the direction of the velocity V, remember that. That is in the direction of the current. The direction of the current. The first finger is in the direction of B, the central finger is in the direction of V, or you can say in the direction of the current, in which the direction in which the current is flowing, or the direction in which the charge is moving. Then the thumb will point in the direction of the magnetic force. Then the thumb will point in the direction of the magnetic force. So this was Fleming's left hand rule. So what is Fleming's left hand rule? You have to stretch the thumb, the first finger and the center finger of your left hand in such a way that they are mutually perpendicular to each other. Then if the first finger points in the direction of the magnetic field B, the center finger points in the direction of V, remember that V or I, then the thumb will represent the direction of the force F experienced by a charged particle. The SI unit of magnetic field B is Tesla. Now we have to define what is Tesla. What is Tesla? Now we know that F is equal to QVB sine theta, which implies B is equal to F upon QV sine theta. B is equal to F upon QV sine theta. Now if F is equal to 1 Newton, Q is equal to 1 coulomb. It is not 1 meter per second. It is Q is equal to 1 coulomb. V is 1 meter per second. There is a correction. Q is 1 coulomb and V is 1 meter per second and theta is equal to 90 degree. Q is 1 coulomb, V is 1 meter per second and theta is 90 degree and F is 1 Newton. So there B becomes equal to 1. Then B is equal to F upon QV sine 90 means 1 upon 1 into 1 into 1. That is B is equal to 1, but what? Tesla. Then B will be equal to 1 Tesla. If F is 1 Newton, Q is 1 coulomb, V is 1 meter per second and theta is 90 degree, then B will be 1 Tesla. From this mathematical definition, you can define 1 Tesla as the magnetic field induction. D at a point is said to be 1 Tesla if a charge of 1 coulomb is moving with a velocity of 1 meter per second at right angles to the direction of the magnetic field B, experiences a force of 1 Newton at that point. Now, D is equal to F upon Q V sine theta. This implies 1 Tesla is equal to 1 Newton per 1 coulomb into 1 meter per second, and theta is a dimensionless or unitless quantity. It has no dimensions. This implies 1 Tesla is equal to 1 Newton per 1 meter into 1 coulomb per second. This implies 1 Tesla is equal to 1 Newton per 1 meter into 1 ampere, because 1 coulomb per second is ampere. Coulomb per second is ampere. You know the relation of current is equal to Q by T. I is equal to Q by T. If Q is 1 coulomb, T is 1 second, then I will be 1 ampere. So 1 coulomb per 1 second is 1 ampere. This implies 1 Tesla becomes equal to 1 Newton per ampere per meter. So our next topic will be force on a moving charge in a uniform magnetic field, magnetic and electric field. That is Lorentz force. Inshallah, we will discuss it in the next lecture. Thanks.